you wondered what you should have in your backpack every time you go out on a hunt? Are you carrying too much or too little? Let's dive in Wade's backpack and see the gear that he packs into his backpack at the start of the season so he can take it out into the field every time he goes out in search of a whitetail.
You know, this may look like a pile of junk here. That's something that your mom or your wife would probably say, "What are you doing?" But it's really important items that a lot of hunters are going to have with them, and where they're going to have it is in their backpack. I mean, a backpack for a hunter is one of it's a holy grail. It's something you put a lot of things in. Sometimes you may not remember what's in there until the next year. You may find a half-eaten apple or some melted candy, but that is, it's a cool thing about backpacks. They've got a story. This particular model backpack right here by Cabela's Bass Pro Shop is featuring the True Timber Strata camo. It's a really well designed, well thought out backpack that you can do a lot with, whether you're a rifle hunter or you're a bow hunter. Everything can fit right here for those hike ins and outs, but it's how everything goes in here that I think is very important. When I start digging around at my items over here and start looking at where I'm going to put them, I've got my range finder right here, and that's something I want easily accessible. So I'm always going to put it in a pocket, basically like that, so I can easily grab it at any given time. My binoculars, for the most part, are going to be, on me at all times, but this particular model has a great big pouch right here that I can shove things in. That's where I'll also put rain gear, things like extra tree arms for accessories. This little device here, which we use to put point of view cameras, screw them into trees. They fit great down the middle of this. And once again, this is a personalized type situation, depending on what you're trying to do, what you're putting in there. You might have a foot-long sub in there. I don't know. Everybody's going to put whatever they want in there different. My Garmin inReach is almost always either going to be stuck in this spot right here, or I'm going to clip it actually to my backpack for ease of use and application. Lights, you can never have enough lights out there, whether you're using little hat lights like these, or you're using big spotlights, depending on what you're dealing with. But these are things you're always going to be able to put inside your backpack. And when you get in this backpack right here, you've got a multitude of different little pockets that you can hide things in. And this little mesh one right here is a place that I always put three very important items at: a pin, tape, and zip ties. The zip ties, I use for a lot of things. I may zip tie this backpack to the tree that I'm setting up in. I may be zip tying branches up to give myself a little more cover, or hopefully I'm zip tying and taping and using this pin to fill out tags after a successful hunt. I always carry these, and they always end up in a mesh area right in that middle part of my backpack. Never fails. That's a mandatory thing. I'm always going to have an extra release if I'm on a bow hunt. If I'm on a gun hunt, I'm going to have extra ammo in my backpack as well. Knives, can never have enough knives and tools. I mean, that's like a man thing, right? I've got a mix of knives right here for different things. These are going to be my skinning, cleaning, caping knives right here. This is kind of more of a multi-purpose, can fill the same roles a lot of times as what I'm dealing with here. And then I've got a set of tools here. I've got some pliers, some scissors. I'm going to have screwdriver heads in here. Basically, something that I might be able to fix something if I need to in there. It's going to be in my backpack, and it lives in there. I know it's there all the time. Scent control. All of my Conquest scent stuff right here. I'm a huge believer in the scent sticks. They live inside my backpack. I've got a spot that I put those. They stay right there, so I easily know where to find them. I try to pack my backpack every time in the same manner so I know where everything is. If I'm hunting in a box blind or a situation where I can lay this over a tree, this is a Shooting Made Easy, very simple bean bag to help rest. I mean, anytime I can get rest, that's a mandatory deal for me. And then lens cleaning cloths for my binoculars or camera gear. You've got to have these out there. It's just amazing how many times we're out in the field, you're getting wet, things are damp, dust, and you want to be able to clean your binoculars and everything along those lines. So just a few things that you're going to find always in my backpack. And it's just, those are mandatory necessities, I think, for me when I'm traveling across the nation to be able to be prepared for any type of hunting situation. I'm curious what's in your backpack.
Find all the gear you need this coming hunting season at your local Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's. Our friends at Garmin recently launched the Garmin Tread, a rugged power sports GPS navigator. Brandon Brinkman from Garmin was in our camp during a turkey hunt and was able to get out and showcase just some of the features of the Garmin Tread.
we're here in Texas this week, and we're actually able to get our hands on a few treads before we came out on this trip. So I sent the packages out to the team, and they're able to go through and get them all installed and set up for us. So what that entails is there's actually a bar mount that sinks up here. There's actually 2 screws, or a screw that goes in there, and it's actually hardwired straight into the battery so that as the unit's running, we're always charging it straight into here. The other big feature here is the really rugged mount. So as soon as this thing snaps in, it's not going anywhere. So it's nice and solid in there. We rode all over the back roads this weekend in the middle of our hunt, and it was super sturdy, didn't go anywhere. I just wanted to walk through a few of the main features that were super helpful throughout this hunt. So really the first one I wanted to hit on was the Bird's Eye Direct application. So it was pretty late in the evening when we all got all set up here at camp. We're just talking about the next day, like what are we gonna do, where are we gonna go? After we kind of talked through all that, we were able to actually jump right in the units. We had a Wi-Fi hotspot here at camp. So via that Wi-Fi hotspot, we're able to go in, pull in the Bird's Eye Direct mapping, and actually get a 20 by 20 square of detailed mapping that we're able to use the whole weekend. So you can kind of see on the screen there's our 20 by 20 square, and then just kind of zoomed in. And really, as we used the side-by-side throughout our hunts, we did a lot of running gun turkey hunting on day one, where we were just constantly moving through different spots. This was super helpful to figure out, what's the best next move to make, where's the water running, where's the creek out from where we're at. If we heard a bird off in the distance, we could kind of get an idea of where they're at, and how do we strategically move through the thick cover or get around the thick cover to get in the best position to get in on that bird.
Learn more about the Garmin Tread at Garmin.com. As hunters, we get a lot of steps in during hunting season, which means it's important to take care of your feet and give them the comfort and support they need throughout the hunt.
We've got a couple pairs of the Cabela's Treadfast Gore-Tex hunting boots right here. When it comes to a hunting boot, for me, comfort is the utmost of importance. And comfort can be waterproof, making sure it's got Gore-Tex, making sure you've got insulation. It can be tied to the cushioning of your feet for long hikes. How it fits around your ankles and higher, the support it gives you, the traction. There's a lot of things to keep in mind when it comes to picking the right hunting boot. For a guy that might be dealing with a snow-covered mountain, he's going to have different demands than maybe me down here in Texas right now, where it's 90 degrees and dry. So you have to keep that in mind when you purchase the boots to get the maximum benefits out of them. This particular set of boots right here, you've got a multitude of options. I like the Gore-Tex membranes that are built into these. I'm really impressed with the tread and how well built they are. Basically almost like a tire deal, which is tied to the BF Goodrich aspect of it on the bottom, well built, sturdy aspect off of it. When you can look at the 2 different lacing systems, one's got the BOA system, which is basically you can crank it like that to be able to secure it. You don't have to worry about your laces, and if you're walking around like upland bird hunters do a lot of time, they're walking around a lot of birds. Everything's always tugging at their laces, or you can go with the traditional lace-up system right here, whichever one personally fits you the best. Inside these boots, you've got a set of cushioning systems built into it that I find very comfortable when you're walking. And to me, that comfort's very, very important, because if we're walking long distances, hiking or working in the field, rattling, whatever it may be, you don't want to have uncomfortable boots. So if you're looking for a pair of good all-around hunting boots right now that are going to have a multitude of features, a multitude of ways to be able to lace them up to get the benefits, a good Gore-Tex membrane, well built and constructed to last you for years to come, I suggest taking a look at these Cabela's Treadfast Gore-Tex hunting boots.
When we return, we'll look at the differences between forward draw and reverse draw crossbows, and then later take a look at a new way of hunting. Stay tuned. With crossbows becoming as popular as they are, there are lots of new, powerful, and innovative models out there. One thing you see are reverse draw crossbows, but what's the difference between a reverse draw crossbow and a traditional forward draw crossbow?
So on a reverse draw, the riser, which is most of the weight on a crossbow, is going to be at the center of the barrel as opposed to out front. So it eliminates a lot of that nose heavy feel of forward draw crossbows. And it also allows you to take advantage of a full power stroke. On a reverse draw crossbow, you get a longer power stroke, so you can generate more speed and more power out of them as opposed to the forward draw crossbow. So for me, I still prefer a forward draw crossbow. I just think it just feels better to me. It's more natural. Some people like the reverse draw for the balance point. So it really just comes down to personal preference. The reverse draw is growing in popularity. I would say that the forward draw is still more popular right now at this point in time.
Learn more about the full lineup of 10-point crossbows at 10pointcrossbows.com. So with crossbows being more powerful than ever, you need a crossbow target that can handle those high speeds without the bolt going through or getting stuck.
We have spent a lot of time over the past decade shooting into crossbow targets, and one of the biggest frustrations is trying to get the bolt arrow out after you that you've taken that shot. I mean, these new modern ones just drive them so far into a lot of the targets. It's exciting to have a target like this blackout crossbow target that's easy to get the bolt out of after you've shot it. And I think it's a key thing for a lot of people. I can be honest, the fatigue of shooting it into some of the foam targets and trying to get it out, I can't even get it out in some of them. This particular blackout target, we were just sighting in, and it's driving it in about that far on every shot, which is, pretty easy to take it in and out of when you're looking at it. You can kind of see as far as we're going in, and that's 4 to 5 inches into this target, and this is the 10-point Vapor, which is about the most powerful crossbow you're ever going to find on the market. So, a lot of the slower ones that are going in that 300, 320 range or thereabouts, they're even going to be easier to get it out. So when you start looking at a crossbow target, folks, take a look at this blackout crossbow target. I think you're going to like the aiming patterns on here as far as your bullseyes to help you zero in everything. But the best thing you're going to like is being able to get your bolt out after the shot.
When we return, we'll introduce you to a new type of hunting method that we are excited about using in the field. Stay tuned. As you know, we and many other hunters love hunting big game by any legal means. One new way that we found is hunting game with an air bow. Let's join Michael as he introduces us to some air guns from Umarex.
I've had the opportunity to hunt with a lot of different platforms, whether it be rifle, bow, crossbow. This is the new Air Saber from Umarex. It is a air bow. So basically what I can do is I can use this compressor right here to charge the system, and this gun is capable of shooting an arrow at 480 feet per second. It's got some really cool features on it. Comes with a scope. It's got your Picatinny rails for a flashlight if you want to hog hunt at night like I'm going to try to do. Lightweight, just a really cool product. I really can't wait to get out in the field with it. We use the Ready Air to power this system. So basically, I've got it plugged into 110 right now. I can use jumper cables off of a car battery, four-wheeler battery, whatever you want to use, and I can power this thing anywhere I'm at. So if I'm out in the field and I'm just kind of practicing my target shooting from where I'm going to hunt from, or if I'm just target shooting around the house, I've got power anywhere I want to go. 480 feet a second, accurate out to about 70 yards. This is a platform that I'm looking forward to using this year.
The Air Saber air archery rifle uses high-pressure air to propel a 350-grain arrow at velocities up to 480 feet per second. Arrows shot from a full tank reach energy levels up to 178 foot-pounds. This is more than enough for hunting big game and is, in fact, legal in 10 states for deer, and most states allow for predator or feral species hunting with devices of this kind. The Air Saber uses a special carbon fiber arrow that weighs 250 grains by itself. These arrows accept standard and mechanical broadheads and are easily changed out. Shooters can expect to get 25 shots of big game lethal energy on one fill, or 30 shots of predator lethal energy. Unlike other arrow shooting rifles, this air rifle has sleek form and a price that's hard to beat. Learn more at umarexusa.com. While Michael heads out to the field with the Umarex Air Saber, let's learn about another airgun rifle from Umarex, the Umarex Air Javelin. Powered by CO2, the Umarex Air Javelin launches a 170-grain air bolt at 300 FPS. The Air Javelin takes air power into a new direction with 34 foot-pounds of energy delivered via straight flight technology arrows. Shooters can line up the target with the installed open sights or zero in a dot sight or scope for pinpoint arrow placement. The Air Javelin has a full-length Picatinny rail on the top along with a short section below the barrel. Both sides of the Air Javelin stock are also equipped with M-LOK slots. The Air Javelin accepts 88-gram CO2 tanks and will launch dozens of arrows downrange on a single tank. Learn more at umarexusa.com. Now let's join Michael as he's set up near some feeders in hopes that a group of hogs will come by.
I was trying to listen to see if I could hear that one crash. That thing is so fast, it's hard to tell where you hit, but I think I hit him good. All right, I think we made a good shot on him. Looks like he ran this way. I can already see a little bit of blood down here, so let's see if we can find him. It's always a good sign whenever you walk up and immediately find blood. It just makes you feel like everything is the way you think it should be. It's not always perfect, but most of the time. There he is. You know, I think a lot of people ask, why do you hunt with so many different things? And it's really just about getting out in the woods and trying something new. I like rifles, I like archery, and the air bow was just something else that I can try. And obviously, it's lethal, it's accurate, and it's just fun to try new things. I mean, whenever I first got this, I had no idea what it even was, how it worked, and turns out it's faster than my bow that I shoot now, and it's got more power. So I just like trying new things and getting out here hunting a pig during the summertime. It's another way to have fun, and I enjoyed the heck out of that. I'm ready to get back in the stand.
One final piece of gear that's found its way into our deer camp are the Exude Direct Light Illuminators. These long-distance illuminators by Optical Dynamics combine specially engineered precision lenses with powerful LEDs to project a harmonized focused beam of pure light on your target. Optical Dynamics light projection technology creates a tight, focusable column of pure harmonized light typically only found in the natural environment. The GenClear beam optimizes your natural optical senses, providing you with the best light projection night vision possible. Optical Dynamics light projection technology puts you in control. The adjustable focused beam of light is infinitely brighter, doesn't fade or disperse, and doesn't reflect back into your eyes. It is energy efficient, safer, and more effective than anything else on the market. Optical Dynamics long-distance illuminators are compact, lightweight, and easy to handle or mount onto a scope.
The cool thing about the Exude light is it sets up on your rifle perfectly. All I've got to do is shoulder the rifle, click on the light, and wherever I'm aiming, I can see exactly what's there. So if I click on that light and I see a pig look up at me and I see those eyes reflect, and I know immediately, all I've got to do is pull the trigger. It takes out any guessing. I mean, it's got an adjustment to where I can center my crosshairs perfectly within that light. That's where that light really shines.
Learn more at exudelight.com. If you have any questions about any of the products featured in this episode, shoot us an email at info@deergeartv.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.